Everything about that was good. Hi guys, this is Play It Again. I'm Ginger.
And I am Mike.
And once again, I'm reminded about how small I am compared to you. When I'm looking at the monitor and there's like a foot difference between us.
I am a ginormous man.
You are pretty big. It's true. Guys, if I'm not wearing high heels, I actually legitimately fit right under his chin. It's kind of adorable.
And you're not a short woman. I'm just a ginormous man.
Average height for a gal. Yeah, I think it's average for a gal. Anyway, so, okay. We, a couple days ago, did our live chat. Thank you to everybody who tuned in for that. It's always good to get you guys in. It's kind of live and interactive. It's been a long time since we've had time to do one, but I want to start getting into the habit of doing like one a month. So, because it really is the best way to get your suggestions heard and noted, because like I'm gathering them from email, from comments, from screenshots, and now I'm getting them in Twitter DMs too. So I actually legitimately lose track of them, because this mythical list I keep talking about is mostly just...
It's 16 lists on 4 different devices.
Just trying to remember in my head where they all are. So the live chat's good because it's all like in one little live chat line. I can just rewatch it and make notes from it. So that actually helps me quite a bit, and it helps you get heard better. So anyway, Jamie, who has been around for a long time, very loyal, long-time viewer.
Old.
I didn't call her old. You called her old.
You're the one who said she's been around for a long time.
Yeah, not as long as me, though. Okay, so in all fairness, I'm pretty sure I'm older. But anyway, I should have said loyal viewer. So I made a suggestion for another Paris Paloma. We did really enjoy the Paris Paloma, the warmth when we did it. The last suggestion Jamie made, I kind of did a veto on because I didn't enjoy the subject, but she made a suggestion for another one called The Last Woman on Earth. And I'm looking forward to this because I actually really enjoyed the Paris Paloma. Her sound is really unique and kind of powerful. So I'm looking forward to seeing what...
Okay.
Yeah, it's
I will bring it on.
Spent, maybe it will be my own. Scatter ashes, leave no marker where you planted. So the hordes will be disbanded as they search on a treasure map for my headstone. Leave me to the beasts and bears, but rather that the feast was theirs. They comrades of neighboring plots for a quest to be buried on top. Leave me for a day or two to make sure that I turn blue. For the first time since I drew breath, I'm undesirable again. I'll tattoo it just so they think it's ruined. And if they think it's ruined, it's easier to say. But please hurry if you really love me. You'll dispose of me unceremoniously in your ways. Leave me to the trees and there. I'd rather that the feast was theirs. They can't reserve neighboring plots or buy cuttings of my priceless locks. Leave me for 2 days or 3 till my fingertips turn green. For the first time since I drew breath, undesirable again. And they will come in such dismay that they never did discover where I lay. And I will burn my flesh and foam, screaming the words, it will never be yours. I'll take the flame over desecration, promise you'll make all these arrangements. Don't you dare think it's overkill. I wouldn't wish the watching on anybody, so if for that reason only, swear to me you will. Leave me to the beasts and bears. I'd rather that the feast was theirs. They come and serve neighboring plots or request to be buried on top. Leave me for a day or two to make sure that I turn blue. For the first time since I drew breath, I'm undesirable again.
That was magnificent.
I can't lie, I have no idea what she was talking about, and I don't care. Like, it just sounded so good.
It really did, right? I felt the same. Well, okay, so I feel the need and powerful urge to run that video or even go to the lyric video, right? And watch it like the next 100 times just so I could review the lyrics of that. I love the structure of her lyrics, right? And the phrase choices she makes are really kind of interesting. They're atypical, and it makes it interesting because lots of times, so it's come up a time or two when we've done a reaction where I might have a reaction or mouth a word that I anticipate is coming because the structure of the lyrics make it easy to kind of anticipate what that word is going to be, and then people accuse me of having heard it before. And it's just sometimes they're predictable, guys. But there was no way I had any idea where that song was going from one second to the next. And it was beautiful because the journey was really, really epic, right? And I loved that kind of. So I don't know enough about lyric structure to or poetic structure to understand what the technical term is for it. But when you have the sentence ends at a certain point that you expect, but then she adds one extra syllable to the end. And it's sort of like, oh, it's a little surprise every single time.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I wasn't, for the most part, cognizant of the words at all.
Oh, really?
I mean, I understood some of the lines until I turn green or till I turn blue, I'm undesirable again. Like, I caught some words, but by and large, I was just swimming in that dark sound.
Beautiful,
and it was kind of this dark swirl, and it was really, really amplified by how much of that drumming was on the toms instead of the snare, right? Just this heaviness.
Yeah.
Oh,
I felt it too. It was
delicious.
It was breathtaking how good that was, right? Like this, and I felt the same way. And there's lots of times when I get swept up in sound like that where I don't even hear the lyrics at all, but for some reason they were penetrating. I don't know if it was just the first set that took me by surprise because I heard it. So I started keying in really closely because I was like, oh, I want to hear what else she does with that. Oh, yeah, that was really, really good. I love the sound of her voice, and I find it really interesting because for a large part of the song, it sounds like her voice is kind of at the back of her throat. It reminds me a little bit of, who was the one that did Weekends? I don't really
Freya
have
writings.
friends. Yeah, okay. Had a similar, not quite the same quality, but a similar quality to Freya Riding's voice, where it sounds like it's kind of at the back of her throat, and it's sort of milling around inside her mouth before it comes out. It has this depth to it, right?
Kind of a millennial thing.
And it's a little muddy, right? But then whenever she hit the higher notes and went up in the register a little, she suddenly had this, it's almost like a childlike quality to the voice. It became a lot clearer. It sounded like it was coming out more at the front of her throat, which I thought was interesting because I wasn't expecting it. But that was so good. Oh my God, Jamie, that was so good. I do love this woman's voice, and I love kind of like the whole package, the musical arrangements. They had that really beautiful, delicate acoustic guitar in there that was just sort of floating on the top of this really thick, heavy sound. It was really something. Yeah, that was beautiful. I have no idea what the story was about either.
Didn't sound happy, I will say that.
No, definitely not that. But there were some pieces of the phrasing that I thought were really kind of evocative in a way that lends itself to some really strong imagery. So I'm looking forward to going
like
to
rotting
it.
bodies and sliced throats out of it. So I understand it
There
was
some of
dark.
that, that's for
I understand
sure.
it was dark.
Yeah, but it was beautiful. The idea that she mentioned about making herself seem used so that she would not be wanted. I understand. I think I understand where something like that's coming from. It's a really good metaphor, I think. Do you understand what I mean?
Well, I would have been inclined to take that quite literally. A lot of attractive women have trouble
It's true. It's true.
rather than metaphorical.
Well, okay. Well, I guess you're right. It is true. And that's the way I took it too, was to lend itself to that feeling. And when you think about being the last woman on earth, I guess you run in, if you're the last woman on earth, but there's a lot of men, then that would actually be a really big problem, wouldn't it? But if you're the last woman on earth and there's a lot of men, I'm pretty sure they're not going to be that fussy.
It's true.
So, but the way the world is structured right now, it is a little, and there is a large kind of group of warring factions between the traditional and the modern, and where everybody should kind of fall out on that. We have our own personal feelings, but I'm not going to muddy this video with those, right? I just love the imagery. It was beautiful. Everything about that was good.
It
So,
really was.
thank you, Jamie, for the suggestion. See, we can disagree politically on some things and still enjoy the music.
Right.
And I definitely did. So I don't know about you, but I'm going to play it again. At least 10 more times just so I can see all the lyrics again.
You got to stop doing that. Like half through the wave,
Yeah,
and
you're
you
just
just get
going to have to lump it.